What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. At this point, the question becomes, what do they do with Russell Westbrook? What do the Lakers do with Russell Westbrook now? What trade options do they have? What can they do with him? Because nobody seems to want Russ. And that's the problem. The problem is exactly what I said. Nobody seems to want Russ. Russ is pretty much the player that everybody used to love and want to be on their team. But now, the fact that, some are saying they lost a step, and the fact of what happened last year on the Lakers, that's not good. It's just a bad look for Russ. And, this situation with the Lakers can really come back and haunt Russ because the Lakers is one of those staple teams. They're one of those teams that's been well established, way before Russ was even thought about even being in the league. And their mentality is Russ is not going to make us any worse than what we were before we had him or anything like that. And before they had Russ, they were a pretty decent team, actually. So now they got Patrick Beverley. Last year they wasn't a decent team. Let me take that back. They weren't a decent team last year, but of course, before they had Russ, they were a pretty solid team or better than what they were. But anyways, nobody really wants to trade for Russ because they don't see the value, and the Lakers really don't have much options for Russell Westbrook at this point because it's taking too much for them to gather to make a trade for Russ. Teams want picks. Teams want, they want extra players. It's just a lot that teams want for Russ, and it's hard for the Lakers to really deal with that because, damn, the Lakers are looking at it like, Russ is owed $44 million in this season. So, his contract is so big. And then on top of that, he's not playing up to that contract level, at least as of last year. And there's no love, seem like, between him and LeBron with all the reports that are out there. And then on top of that, the reports that are out there about Kyrie and all this stuff. And Russ is supposed to be cool with that. Russ hears all these things too. Russ has feelings. Russ is looking at all this and like, what? It's me against the world right now because everybody else is all about themselves. I need to be all about myself because they don't want me here, and it's not good to, feel like you're not wanted. And that's the way Russ is probably feeling right now because honestly, this team is doing everything they can to get rid of him. It's just nobody's biting on it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot comes with Russ, but at the same time, teams are looking at it like the value of Russ isn't the same as it was a few years ago. And if that's the case, then, a lot changes. And that's the reason why the Lakers are having such a hard time of getting rid of him. Now the Lakers are really regretting even bringing him aboard on the team, even though that's what LeBron wanted, because it's taking so much to get rid of him. And the fact that he played so bad last year amongst a lot of people who watched the Lakers last year, it really makes it harder for them to trade Russ to any team because they want so much in return. Plus, they want Russell Westbrook. The Lakers aren't willing to give up but so much and get rid of Russell Westbrook, a top 75 player, just to get back a piece or two here and there, or, some pieces that can help them but not give them like another star player or another powerful star player, or, supposedly like what Russ was supposed to be for the Lakers. So, and then the Kyrie thing, I really think that's just pretty much out the window, because the Brooklyn Nets are not coming up off Kyrie, not unless the Lakers are going to give up Russ, another player on their roster, and 2 picks. And I don't think the Lakers are going to do that because, as I said, the Lakers are trying to win too. If they give up too much, they won't have an opportunity to be a good team and to win. So, it's a lot that goes into this. It's It's a lot that the Lakers gonna have to deal with Russ. They just gotta hope that Russ plays pretty good this season. They're gonna have to hope that Darvin Ham gets the best out of him, because if he doesn't, then it's not gonna matter. They're not gonna be able to trade him. They're gonna have to just wait till next offseason to let him walk and go from there. And of course, that's what they're not trying to do. They're trying to find a way to trade him, but it's going to be overly difficult because, like I said, his value just isn't that high, and all these reports and the media has just knocked Russ down even more than what he is, because he's a top 75 player, but he didn't play to that level. And when that happens, Russ is in a tough situation right now. He's on a team that doesn't want him, a team that acquired Patrick Beverley, his worst enemy, and he's really not on the same page with LeBron James. So, with all that being said, Russ is in a very peculiar situation, and so are the Lakers. They're trying to do everything they can, say all the right things. Jeannie Buss is still saying the right things when she speaks about Russ, but they know the end is coming for Russ era. And with that being known, they're just trying to say all the right things now because, even though they're still trying to get rid of him, they still have to treat him as if he's going to be there, because technically he will be if they don't find no place for him to go, which right now it seems like they can't find a place for Russ to go, which is the reason why they're fishing as much as they can and nobody's biting. So we'll see what happens with this. I don't think it's going to get much better. As I said, I just think Russ will leave there the following season, not this season. And I just think that the Lakers going to have to deal with Russ at least one more season, or at least up until the All-Star break, the trading deadline near All-Star break. Hopefully he plays decent up until that point, and if he does, then that'll benefit the Lakers, where they'll be able to trade him, and teams might actually want Russell Westbrook, and they won't have to give up so much along with Russ to get rid of him. So hopefully it works out that way. If not, he'll walk out the following off season after this one, and then they won't have nothing to worry about. But until then, they have to try to work with him until they find a way to release him or get rid of him, or unless he walks off the team or whatever else may happen. But right now, currently, he's on the roster, and that's who they have to deal with. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.